July 14th, 2010, my birthday. It's 1:17 p.m. We're on the other side of the highway, scoping out a new place to explore and camp. And we're on a not so used road, trying to figure out a good place to stop and set up camp. Thinking about this area right here, or exploring down a little further. I think we might explore down a little further. Beautiful view, beautiful day. Back in a bit. July 14th, 2010, 2:05 p.m. We stopped off a little camping spot here that we found along the road, right next to a creek. Reminds me of the creeks back in Ohio. Really cool over here. So we're going to set up camp. We decided this spot is as good as any. Close to a water source on a hot day is always a good thing in this research business. Always by the water. And in the movie The Legend of Boggy Creek, they always said, the witnesses always said, it always, in this particular case, it always follows the creeks. And I speculate it's because, obviously, one, for water to drink, two, because game will be by the water to drink, and three, a navigational aid. For something that walks around the forest, follow the creek. You can't go wrong. Listen for the sound of the creek, you always know where you're at. I don't know if Bigfoot needs that or it's got its own GPS, you know, from the Bigfoot GPS store. Okay, we're going to set up. Just want to walk over here and look at the creek area. Wow, they got barking squirrels over here too? It's interesting. Last place we were at had barking squirrels. Alright. Time to set up and enjoy the woods and have a look around for any evidence. Maybe walk up the creek later. July 14, 2010, 4:22 p.m. Campsite's mostly set up. Still got to set up a couple more cameras and mics, but we're taking a little break. I'm going to walk the forest road for a minute. Forest road goes in these directions. And then the creek area is to the right. The van, I'm going to work my way back to the creek here in a minute. It's about 4:34. I cut down through the trees from the forest road that way. There's been a lot of cutting going on over here. Not sure why. I'm going to make my way towards the creek here in a minute. It's interesting how they're cutting all these trees down, and the purpose of it, I have no idea. There's these little campsites here that you'll see along the road periodically. And down a little farther, actually I think it's over here, somebody put up a little honey bucket. Yeah, a little honey bucket. Now that's some wimpy ass camping. Maybe they had a little group event and had families and stuff. I guess that's understandable, and they rented it and dropped it off or something. And then there's another little wimpy toilet. May have been here before that. Oh. Why? Oh well. I'm gonna make my way down towards the creek and see if I can find anything. You can hear the creek a little bit farther ahead. I'm going to see what I see when I get to the creek. It's about 20 to 5. I'm down here by the creek. It looks like there's a little bit of a log jam right here where the creek just creeps under. A lot of tree fall and rocks. I might even just wrap around from over to the right and come down through here. One of the fall of the creek. Let's see if I can find any tracks in the muddy areas, but it's primarily rock, which is unfortunate. Rock surrounded by the forest floor, which is all pine needles. Doesn't leave tracks for a while. Back in a bit. Well, the creek wasn't that navigable. It's not like you can just walk along it and you know, look for tracks and stuff. There's just so much tree fall and heavy brush that you just can't really follow the creek. It's not like the creeks back home where you can just walk along it. A lot of it runs under fallen rocks and logs, and like the log jam we saw. And then there's just like anywhere else, the forest floor covered in pine needles, really soft, like a mattress. Not conducive to leaving tracks. You gotta hope for a mud spot or a sand spot to see if you know, where to locate a decent track. The forest road is notorious for crossings of Bigfoot, reported by vehicles or folks driving in vehicles along the roads, mostly at night. But the forest road is really hard packed. Best chance you have is after a good rain, when some of it turns muddy. And like the track we found up at the pass, the 21-inch track that looked like it was left when the forest road was a little bit wet and muddy. The road was still hard, but the top layer of dirt and dust left a bit of an impression. Better than nothing. But mostly, there's not a lot of areas in this part of the forest is going to be conducive for good tracks, unless it's just a fluke. And as Risky and I have discussed the forest roads and why Bigfoot creatures may actually travel them when they have the opportunity, mostly at night, is because they're a large animal with a large caloric requirement, and my gosh, why not travel the path of least resistance? It's a chance they take with vehicles, but if they're paying attention and listening, I mean, I can hear a vehicle coming a long way, just crunching the gravel, just like you can hear me walking. So we think they do travel the forest roads sometimes at night. At a minimum, they have to cross them once in a while to get from point A to point B. It's just no avoiding these roads. That's why I like to walk the roads and look for a chance print. And that's why we're going to start doing more night ops, driving around the vehicles with the spotlights. And you never know, you get a chance crossing, or you just get lucky. Alright, I should be coming back up on camp. There it is right there. Going to help Risky finish setting up.